everybody. We had very, very good talks today having to do with Russia, Ukraine. Something could be happening. We likewise had very good talks on Iran. Iran looks like it wants to make a deal very badly. We have to see what that deal is. But I think Iran looks like they want to make a deal very badly, as they should. Last time they decided maybe not to do it, but I think they probably feel differently. We'll see what the deal is. It'll be different than last time. And we have a big armada. We have a big fleet heading in that direction. We'll be there pretty soon. So we'll see how that works out. The stock market, as you know, broke a number that they thought was going to be impossible to break. Certainly during my first year, they said if you could do it in your fourth year, by the fourth year, we broke 50,000 on the Dow. Most people thought that was not possible to do so quickly. We did it in the first year. So we're about 3 years ahead of schedule. It's going good. Prices are way down. You don't hear the Democrats talking about affordability anymore, which they caused the affordability problem very badly. But you don't hear that word. I haven't heard that word spoken in a week and a half because they can't speak because the prices are down. Energy's down. If you look at oil, if you look at gasoline, a gallon of gasoline in Iowa, I was there last week, was 185, 189, and 199 at three different stations. And it's that way in a lot of places. So gasoline is way down, energy's down, groceries are down. We've broken the Biden disaster, the mess that I inherited. The border is extremely secure, more so than it's ever been. We've got 9 months with zero people coming in illegally. And I think the immigration problem we're doing very well. And crime is at a record low for 125 years, just announced. Lowest has been since 1900. That's pretty good. That's a long time. So, do you have any questions, John?
Mr. President,
social media post that you took down earlier today, the White House says that a staffer sent it. Who sent it, and are you going to fire them?
No, I looked at it. I saw it, and I just looked at the first part. It was about voter fraud in someplace, Georgia. There was a lot of voter fraud, 2020 voter fraud, and I didn't see the whole thing. I guess during the end of it, there was some kind of a picture that people don't like. I wouldn't like it either, but I didn't see it. I looked at the first part, and it was really about voter fraud and the machines, how crooked it is, how disgusting it is. Then I gave it to the people. Generally, they look at the whole thing, but I guess somebody didn't, and they posted, and we took it down, and we did it. Yeah. But that was a voter fraud that nobody talks about. They don't like to talk about that post. We took it down as soon as we found out about it.
Mr. President, a number of Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake. I mean, I look at a lot of thousands of things. I looked at the beginning of it. It was fine. They had that one post, and I guess it was a takeoff. By the way, a lot of people covered. If you look at where it came from, I guess it was a takeoff on the Lion King. And certainly it was a very strong post in terms of voter fraud. Nobody knew that was at the end. If they would have looked, they would have seen it. And probably they would have had the sense to take it down. But that was a takeoff of the Lion King. And a lot of people were covered in different positions. So, but I spoke to Tim Scott. He was great. Tim is a great guy. He understood that 100%. Go ahead.
Mr. President, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner met with Iran's foreign minister today. You also had Brad Cooper there, the head of CENTCOM. A deal doesn't look like it's been reached yet. How long are you willing to wait?
A deal can be reached. Well, you have to get in position. We have plenty of time. If you remember Venezuela, we waited around for a while, and we're in no rush. We have, very good talks going with Iran. We have very good talks going with Russia and Ukraine. We're doing a lot of good talking, and I think we had the results today were with Iran. It was a meeting. We're going to meet again early next week, and they want to make a deal. Iran, as they should, want to make a deal. They know the consequences if they don't. If they don't make a deal, the consequences are very steep. So we'll see what happens. But they had a very good meeting with a very high representative of Iran, and we'll see how it all turns out.
We'll give it a ripe scoops.
See that, by the way, I'd love to see that. If we could do that, I'd love to see it.
Mr. President.
Iran, is a deal that is acceptable that only covers with Iran? Is there a deal that only covers nuclear that would be acceptable to you? Because they just want to have nuclear. They don't want to have anything else. Like
That would be acceptable, but one thing, and right up front, no nuclear weapons. If we could have made that deal 2 years ago, we would have made that deal, but they weren't willing to do that. Now they are willing to do it. So they're willing to do much more than they would have a year and a half ago, or even a year ago when don't forget, we've only been doing this for exactly 1 year. And we started with them a few months after the beginning of this term. This term has been amazing. But the results could surprise people. If they would have offered this deal originally when we first started, it would have been accepted immediately. We'll see what happens then.
Mr. President, a number of people in the MAGA base say they aren't satisfied with the administration just focusing on deporting violent criminals.
Who are you with?
I'm Natalie Ellison with the Washington Post.
Washington. Were you having a hard time getting readers? Washington Post is doing very poorly. Go ahead. You have a very bad attitude. Go ahead.
Well, a number of people in your base say that they want to see all illegal immigrants deported, even ones who are
Let me tell you
otherwise
about my
non-violent.
base. Let me tell you about my base. My base has never been stronger. My base is me and other very good people that love our country. And if you talk about my base or the MAGA base, you could call it a lot of America First base. They couldn't be more thrilled. We have crime down to the lowest level that it's been in 125 years. We have a border that's totally closed. We have all the things that our base wanted, and we have the best economy in history. Prices are down. We inherited very high prices and the highest inflation in the history of our country. Think of it, the highest or 48 years. Some people say 48 years, but I'll take either one. So my base is very happy.
But would you support mass deportations of people who are otherwise law-abiding?
Seeing everybody, but we're focusing on the criminals. We're focusing on killers. But ultimately, they all broke the law. Some can, if they do it in a certain way, they can go out. They can come back if they do it properly. But as you know, a lot of people have been deported. A lot. But the focus is on the murderers, the drug dealers. We have many people mentally insane. They dumped everything in our country. But ultimately, yeah, it's exactly as I said during the campaign. Yeah.
Mr. President, can you set the record straight? There were reports circulating that you told Chuck Schumer that in order to restore funding for the Gateway train tunnel in New York, New Jersey, you would want Penn Station and Dulles Airport to be named after you. Is that
He
true?
suggested that to me. Chuck Schumer suggested that to me about changing the name of Penn Station to Trump Station. Dulles Airport is really separate. Dulles Airport is really not too involved with Congress. It's a separate kind of a deal, as you know. But it was suggested to me by numerous people, unions, Democrats, Republicans. A lot of people suggested. Nothing's been done on that.
President, you frequently criticize Joe Biden for not knowing what is going on in his name. This racist video that was posted on your social media.
A hell of a lot better than you do. You don't know what's going on. I know what's going on. No, Joe Biden didn't have a clue. But we know everything. And when you look at what's happening with our economy, think of it, we're way years ahead of schedule. We have thousands and thousands of businesses being built right now. So Joe Biden had no clue. If Joe Biden were elected or if Kamala were elected, we wouldn't have a country right now.
you won the election because of minority voters. Does this post maybe hurt Republicans with black voters after the?
I think look. We did criminal justice reform. I did the historically black colleges and universities. I got them funded. Nobody has been, and that's why I got the highest vote with male black voters that they've seen in many, many decades. I've done great with them. Black voters have been great to me. I've been great to them. Black voters have been great to me. I've been great to them. And I am, by the way, the least racist president you've had in a long time, as far as I'm concerned. We have, I've had a great relation. Think of what I've done. Criminal justice reform. Nobody else could do it. Obama couldn't do it. Nobody could do it. Clinton couldn't do it. They actually went the other way. They went into a very bad thing for African American people, black people. They did very bad things. I did very good things. But criminal justice reform, and then I funded the universities, which nobody else was willing to do. They were going every year. They'd come back to Washington and they'd be begging for money, begging. I got to be friendly with some of the heads of the schools, and they would come back and they would literally tell me they're forcing us to beg. I'm the one that got them long-term financing and more than they were looking for. So there's nobody that's done more. And I think maybe more than anything else was criminal justice reform. They've been trying to get it for years, and I'm the one that got it done. So nobody can tell me about that. That somebody posts, a staffer posts, and I knew it was all about. If you take a look at that and see the whole thing, it was a small section at the very end, but that was about fraudulent elections, which we have a lot of them. We're going to get it stopped. And I liked the beginning. I saw it and just passed it on. And I guess probably nobody reviewed the end of it, because what I saw at the beginning was really, really strong. It was about fraudulent elections. And anytime I see that stuff, and when it's credible, you put it up. But somebody slipped and missed a very small part. Now, by the way, again, it takes